Hey, 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 Rosalie here from Planet Social. Welcome to Automated Scale. This is day 5 and it's Friday. Wearing my Friday jumper for you. So super excited to talk about building resilience and capacity to grow. This is one of my favorite topics. I'm super excited to be here with you. It's been an amazing journey so far. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you have been able to at least implement a few of the all the different things that we've been sharing in this masterclass. So again, as I said to you, this is my life's work, like I have nothing else to give. I mean, I probably have much more to give, but what I'm trying to say is this is the stuff that we use with our customers on a daily basis. We teach them these principles, these strategies, and we help them implement it so that they can grow their business, they can free their mind, and they can free their lives of overwhelm, of hours of work, and really build a future for their lives that they enjoy. So I'm excited to be with you today. If you're catching the replay on StreamYard, I'm on StreamYard, and for some reason, the comments, I can't see them. So, if I can't see you, if you want to communicate with me, send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, send me a message. I'm more than happy, or email. I'm more than happy to get back to you and to answer your questions and help you in any way that I can. All right, so let's dig in. So this is the content that I love, and it's all about your resilience, your perspective, capacity, leadership. Like, I could talk about this for days. And so the reason why I decided to add this because there's so much more that I could talk about delegation and automation, obviously, but I thought I would talk about this today because I think that's one of the most overlooked sides of running a business that we have as business owners. Sometimes we think, I'm going to build a business and all I need to do is this strategy, do this, do that, implement and that stuff. And we forget that what's running our business is our perspective. What's running our business is our experiences, our mindset, how we feel about stuff. That's what stops us, and that's what helps us move forward. I really interestingly, a couple of years ago, I ran a program, and the program I was so excited because it was all about information that I use with, corporate clients. And so I got a group of people together, gave them all the amazing content that I create. And I do not hold back. I give everything. And I realized that people were not taking action, and that really frustrated me. Then I spoke to some of my peers in the marketing industry, in the coaching industry, and then I realized that they all face the same challenges when they were teaching conceptual, tactical stuff. People take the information, they think it's valuable, but then they don't implement it. So as I kept working as a coach, as a marketing coach and strategist, I realized that what stops people from getting results is not the strategy, it's not the tactical stuff, it's the way that they think about themselves, about other people, and about what's possible for them. So today I want to talk about these things because I think it's so important. To the same way I talked about expectations when it comes to money and income and stuff like that, it's important that we talk about expectations about what it looks like to be a business owner that has a lot of results, what it looks like, how we feel, the place of, or the importance of having the type of mindset that is required so you can have resilience and build your business no matter what. So let me just grab my glasses and let's dig in. Okay, so this is, I've literally saved the best for last. This is the most important part of running your business. It's your mind, it's your perspective, it's how you see the world, how you see what's possible for yourself, what you think is possible for your business, and we transform our lives by changing the way that we think. We need to renew the way that we think consistently in order to grow. Okay, we are not transformed if we stick to old ways, stick to what we know, stick to old patterns. We will not grow. It's important that we stretch and we challenge the status quo of the things that we know and the way that we think in order for you to grow your business. Okay, now it's really it's hard because we don't learn this stuff in school. When you go to school, your teachers don't teach you how to think. They don't teach you about how your brain works. This is one of the most important things that you need to know, and yet we forget to talk about it in our journey. They say that even people who come from happy families, like that they would describe as perfect, they still have 77% of their thoughts still need realignment. And so imagine if you come from a background where there's lack, or where you come from a broken family, or where you come from, where you had awful traumatic situations happen to you in your life. Imagine if people that come from perfect, which that doesn't exist, families already have 77% of their thoughts that they need to realign. Imagine if your life hasn't been perfect, like mine. I grew up in two countries, and one of them was a third world country where literally there was lack around me every single day. The idea of possibility was so foreign. And even though I was always a dreamer and I wanted to accomplish a lot of things in my life, it was challenging. There are beliefs that are ingrained in our minds that we grow up with, that they just define who we are. And so it gets to a point, and I think having a business is the most spiritual journey that you can embark on, because in order for you to grow your business, you have to grow yourself. You have to grow your mind. Your emotions need to change. The way that you see the world needs to change. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important. All right, I'm going to give you 3 book recommendations that are amazing, and I think you should read. The first one is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. And it's a book that basically presents the reality to you that the moment you decide to start doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, start a new journey, start a new project, run a business, decide to go the next level, the minute you make that decision, resistance comes. Okay? And resistance is something that we experience, and that is that you can basically identify it in 2 different ways. Number 1 is procrastination. So you have all these things you need to do, but you just don't do them. You delay. And number 2 is rationalization, which is basically you having the very good and perfect reasons or excuses why you can't do the things that need to be done. Okay? That book is amazing. I encourage you to read it. It's a very easy read. It's quite a small book. And in the book, he basically explains how you need to turn pro. And when it comes to, if it's a project that you're doing as a leader, no one's forcing you to do it, you need to put yourself in a position that is similar to when you have a job and you have a boss that tells you what to do. You don't tell your boss, oh, sorry, I can't do this report. You do it because you have to do it, right? So it's really fascinating. Read that book. The second book that for me was absolutely transformational. I mean, I read so many books, but these are honestly ones that I think if you're beginning a journey of scaling, you should consider, is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And in this book, he talks about upper limiting beliefs. So it's a problem which revolves around the idea that we all have a self-imposed upper limit to success. okay, to the success that we are allowed. And if we exceed the upper limit, it's usually temporary. So we feel like, you know, you don't want to make, you don't want to basically, you have this self-imposed limiting belief that will limit your success, because you have all these 4 different types of beliefs that enable you to move forward, because, and there are reasons why you can't be more successful. Oh my goodness, amazing book. And he talks about how you've got your zone of competence, your zone of genius, and you know, you could all your life just stay in your zone of competence, but there's something in us, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, because that's the kind of people that we are. We want to progress. You will find that you'll get to a point where being competent will not be enough. Your zone of excellence will not be enough, and you will want to go to your zone of genius. And this is when delegation and automation need to be key, because they will allow you to grow and get to the next level in your business. That book, in the book, he talks about 4 types of like upper limit problems. So I'll tell you. So this basically the 4 hidden barriers that don't allow you to keep growing. Okay. The first one is feeling fundamentally flawed. Like, I'm going to raise my hand. That was one of mine. Okay. So when you feel fundamentally flawed, you're scared of putting yourself out there, because if you're fundamentally flawed, you want people to see it, right? But there's something in you that is calling you to more. And if you have that conflict within you, that's going to stop you from moving forward. Number 2, the belief that if you're successful, you'll be disloyal to your tribe, your family, and you're scared of abandonment. Okay. And this happens to people, like, especially, you know, if you're in a community where most of the people around you are not wealthy, they're not doing well, all of a sudden you start doing well, and then you feel like you're disloyal to the people that are not progressing. You feel like you're scared of being abandoned, because you can see that the way you think is different and evolved, and it's just not the same. This will happen to you. It could happen to you. And so how you deal with that limit. So you could actually make the decision of not moving forward because you don't want to be disloyal and you don't want to be abandoned by your tribe. Number 3 is believing that more success brings bigger problems. This is, again, one of mine. Like, I'm like, oh no, if I'm more successful and I have more money, I have more problems. I don't want to deal with that, and I'm scared of that. And so it's basically how you can then make the decision, and all of this is unconscious, to not succeed, not keep growing, because you're scared of having more problems and bad things that might happen if you have more responsibility, more contracts, more money, etc. And number 4, the last one, is the crime of, he calls it the crime of outshining. That happens a lot. One of the examples he gives is, you know, when you have siblings and you're really good, and your other sibling, for example, isn't as good as you in doing things, when you're made to feel like you should hide your superpowers and your greatness because you're afraid of other people, of outshining, you know, your sibling or other people. So again, this is really, really real. Okay, because if you feel like outshining others is a crime, you're never gonna rise to your amazing genius potential. And so again, this book is, wow, amazing. I mean, I'm telling you, if you grab it, you know, listen, leaders are readers. I don't know who said that. It sounds cheesy, but I promise you it's true. If you want to go to the next level, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know. And I know people that make fun of the self-help kind of area of books, but I can assure you that by reading has transformed my life. Learning from books without having access to all these amazing people who have done years and years of study and research, you get access to their knowledge by reading their books. And if you're disciplined, you can put things in your life that will really make a difference to you. Okay, the third one is called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but anyway, and this is all about learning essentialism in your life. What is essential? Saying yes to the right things and saying no to the right things. You know, so many times we say yes to things that we shouldn't be saying yes to. And when you say yes to the wrong things, you're saying no to the right things. When you're saying no to the right things, you're saying yes to the wrong things. So I encourage you to consider that, get the book. And the last one I'm going to tell you, actually, I didn't put this in the list, but I'm going to add it in the workbook, is one that I've been reading. Actually, it's the second time that I read this book, and it's called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. Atomic Habits by James Clear. There's another book that is super powerful, and it's about how small, tiny little habits will allow you to create massive results. Okay, if you implement those small things in your life. A classic example of that, if you're on a plane, you're piloting a plane, and you're heading to, the example he gives is in New Jersey. You're piloting the plane to New Jersey. 1 degree of shift will lead you millions of miles away to Washington, D.C. And so again, it's a complete, it's really understanding what's the 1%, the small things, the small habits that you can put in place in your life that will help you to become, to progress and reach the results that you want for your life. Okay. So I encourage you, these books, grab them. They're amazing. Again, leaders or readers, read your books, make sure you take action, because it's going to change your life. All right, so let's talk about your mind. So your mind is like a garden, okay? If you do nothing, it will grow weeds. Weeds are not good. If you add the wrong type of food to your mind, you're watching Netflix too late, you're watching violent stuff, you're feeding yourself with crap, you're wasting your time on social media, consuming stuff that doesn't help you, you will reap wrong thinking. If you add the good stuff, then you reap good thoughts. Your mind is not neutral. It's either good, it's either going to the right direction, or it's going to the wrong direction. And so you have to be careful what you are feeding your mind. Okay, this is really, really important. Now, your mind is all about your thoughts. So if it starts with a thought, okay? Your thoughts affect how you feel. How you feel affects how you behave. How you behave becomes a habit, okay? And a habit becomes your personality, your results, your life. I'm going to say this again. It starts with a thought, what you think, okay? Thoughts affect how you feel affects how you behave they become habits, because you do it all the time. It becomes a habit, and then your habits become your personality, your results, your life, and it just becomes who you are. So it starts with a thought. So what that means is that you have to be careful about what you're thinking about. And a lot of us as business owners and as people in general, we're not deliberate about our thoughts. We're not deliberate about what we're thinking. We're not deliberate about the actions that we're taking. And if you want to change your habits, if you want to change your behavior, then you have to change how you feel. And if you want to change how you feel, you need to change how you think, the things that you're thinking. So here's the thing. You have to decide to take control of the way that you think. You have to decide to learn the art of harnessing the power of your thoughts. Okay? Your mind is conditioned it's built for safety. And Your mind is it's built for comfort. It doesn't like new things. Your mind doesn't like to be challenged. It doesn't mind to feel unsafe. And so it's important that you understand that if your mind doesn't like new things, it likes to stay safe. It's like small things, then you have to be deliberate with how you think. And nobody can do this work for you. It's something that you have to do on a daily. When you hear people say, oh, I have a morning routine, and it's become a buzz thing to say you have a morning routine and blah, 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 you know. But what that really means is that you create space to be deliberate about the thoughts that you want to have in your head. Okay? So the way that the brains work is that, again, I told you, it doesn't like new things. It's built for safety. It does, you know, it wants to decide. If it wants to decide, it gives meaning to things. When you're a child, you don't understand things and you give meaning to things. For example, for me, I was left-handed when I was a kid, and where I lived, it wasn't allowed to be left-handed. So I got beaten a lot, you know, by teachers so I could start using my right hand. Okay. I had to give meaning to that event. So when I was 6, the best meaning I could give to that event was that I was defective, because I was the only kid in the classroom who was writing with her left hand. Nobody else did it. Why am I the only one? Plus I'm getting beatings with rulers on my hand. I must be defective. So we make decisions. We give meaning to events that happen in our lives, and then they become the truth that we believe about ourselves. Okay, so when you are 40, 35, 50, doesn't matter your age, you could still be believing beliefs that you decided on, meanings that you attributed to yourself and your circumstances when you were 6. And you're a 6-year-old could be running your business and you don't even realize it. Okay, another thing that you have to understand about your mind or your brain, it's that it is possible for you to change. There's a lot of scientific studies that have been proven, that have been conducted, and that has shifted the world of neuroscience completely, where now they understand that it is possible for you to change the way that you think, to renew your mind, and the way that you do it is through repetition. Okay, so it's it's quite complex. Basically, you have neural pathways that allow you to do your life on autopilot, and so when you learn something new, it's quite challenging and difficult, but after a while it becomes normal. I'll give you an example. When you learn to ride a bicycle at the beginning, it's so challenging. When you've been riding bikes for 10 years, the concept of it being challenging, it's like foreign to you. You get on your bike, you just go. You don't even think about all the safety checks. Okay, the first time when I was learning to drive when I was 17, I did everything. Check this, turn around, make sure everything's okay. You know, that's how you learn to drive. But now I get in my car, I put my seatbelt on, I look around, I know everything's on autopilot, right? So your brain is built for automation. Your brain is built for automation. The problem is that you have got some automation happening there that needs to be rewired. It needs to be changed. It needs to change. And so in order for you to do that, you have to be deliberate with your thoughts and really make sure that the thoughts that you're thinking are thoughts that you want in there, rather than the thoughts that were put in there by society, by your circumstances, by meaning that you attributed to your life. I hope this made sense. Okay, now beware of what you think. 99% of your thoughts right now are repetitive and useless. You think about the same things over and over again. You worry about the same things over and over again. And just thinking the same thing over and over again will not change your situation. It will not improve anything in your life. You have to be deliberate. So how you do that is you craft some time to think about the way you want to think and rehearse those thoughts over and over and over and over again until they become a part of what you think. I'll give you examples of thoughts that you should be thinking, right? I don't think I wrote any down here. No, I didn't. Okay, never mind. So what are the thoughts that you want to be thinking? You want to be thinking that opportunities are available to you. You want to be thinking that possibility is open to you. You want to be thinking that you are able to do the work that you can do in order to grow. You want to be thinking that you have what it takes to grow your business. You want to be thinking that you can generate money. You want to be, these are thoughts that you have to be intentional about thinking them. And if you do not put in place the structures and the systems in order for you to think the right way, guess what will happen? You'll default to your old patterns and your old ways of thinking. All right. So what are the biggest mindset challenges for business owners? I'm going to give you 7 of them, and you can see and recognize if those resonate with you. Number 1, okay, so thinking that you can avoid mistakes and the way that you see what a mistake is in your life. Again, that needs to be challenged, because in a business, you will make mistakes, but they're not mistakes. They're opportunities for learning that can actually transform your business and provide you new opportunities. Number 2, one of the things that I see that are challenges for business owners is hands down shiny object syndrome. So seeing some other people do things and then wanting to do it, and then instead of staying the course with a strategy. And that's why being in a program where you get mentorship, where you stay on track, a lot of people don't get results in their business, not because they're incapable, not because their products suck, but because they're not consistent. That challenge of staying the path, of consistently executing until you see results, is something that is lacking, that you get obviously when you join the right community and programs to help you. But that's one of the mindset challenges I think is really, really crucial. Indulging in procrastination, not asking for help. So they think that they can do it on their own. You can't do this business journey on your own. Even if you don't get a coach, you need to have mentors or people around you that have been there, done that earn more money than you, or that help others do what you do, to help you get to where you want. Not asking for help is a big one. Not being deliberate about your implementation and procrastinating because of that. And, not having accountability. This is crucial. Having accountability will fast track your results. Stopping too soon or trying something once and stopping. Do you imagine if my little girl, when she learned to walk, she's 7 now, but when she was a baby and she started walking and then fell, and I would be, imagine if I was like, oh my gosh, she's never going to walk. She's never going to walk. She tried once and she fell. Do you imagine? No, as a business owner, you try something, okay, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again, and then you start seeing results. Some people, I post this on social media and no one, comments. And I'm like, great, keep posting. People will comment, learn how to write engaging content. But you won't learn how to do it until you actually do it lots and lots and lots of times. Okay? So clarity comes from execution, not planning, not thinking. Okay? When you execute, you do something over and over again, you will become clear on what works and what doesn't work, and why it works and why it doesn't work. Okay? Remember, confusion is something that you can decide to not be. You can decide, I will not be confused. I will just execute and see what happens. Okay, don't wait in confusion land. It's a decision that as a business owner and as a leader, you can choose not to remain on that land. Be deliberate about the way that you think. Okay, myths about scaling. So people think that scaling and growing a business is steady, step by step. I can assure you that's not how it happens. You'll have ups, downs, there's so many factors that affect growth. But if you're consistent and you're strategic, you're more likely to get results than if you are just winging it. Mistakes are not available. You cannot do it alone. There's no silver bullet, there's no like, oh, this is the one thing that you do that will bring you all the results. If someone ever says that to you, run for your life, okay? Because it's a scam. And successful people are not born that way. You become a leader. You become successful by implementing, by making mistakes, by continuing, by doing it again and again and again, by learning, by sharing, by networking. You become a successful leader. It requires implementation. Okay, so that is it for me for today. Again, building capacity for growth has everything to do with the thoughts that you put into your mind. Become aware of the things that you're thinking. Number 2, be deliberate about the thoughts that you are thinking. And number 3, rehearse the thoughts that you want to think about over and over and over again until they become your normal thoughts. Okay, so this is great. And you cannot grow alone. You cannot grow alone. You need a tribe. You need community. You need accountability. You need implementation. And this is what our programs do for you. They help you amplify and grow, eliminate the stuff you don't need to be doing, delegate the stuff that someone else can do, automate the stuff that can be automated because they're repetitive and small. And we give you all the tools, all the templates to do that, but we also give you the strategy, the community, the space to implement, and the mentorship so that your mindset is in the right place for you to grow. Your growth will be 80% mindset and 20% execution. We help you with both. So if Savvy Scalers is something that you think might be a good fit for you or for someone that you know, please get in touch with me. Send me a DM, a message, an email. There's lots of ways to get into, or book a call with me, and I will teach you exactly what you need to do to grow your business and have a great, amazing journey as a business owner that can enjoy the fruit of your labor. All right. Thank you so much for being with me. I'm super excited. I love teaching this content. I could do this, seriously, I could do this every day. Okay. But I thank you so much for being with us. And again, every single thing that I'm telling you today, the stuff that I teach all my clients, and it's stuff that I can assure you, if you start implementing them in your life, you will see results. All right. Lots of love. And